In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, where millions of dreams collided with harsh realities every day, a 17-year-old girl named Chiamaka Nwosu asked a question that would change the world. If we can build artificial hearts, why can't we build artificial wombs? It was a question born from pain, the pain she'd witnessed in her aunt's eyes, in the faces of countless women at fertility clinics, in the quiet desperation of mothers who would never be mothers. This is the story of how Chiamaka built hope where science said there was none, how she coded life itself, how a genius African girl created technology that gave childless women the gift they'd been denied. This is the story of the Genesis Project. Chiamaka's aunt Ngozi had tried 7 times, 7 pregnancies, 7 losses. The last one, a daughter who survived almost to term before her heart simply stopped, had broken something fundamental in Ngozi. Chiamaka remembered finding her aunt sitting in the dark nursery, surrounded by tiny clothes that would never be worn, rocking an empty bassinet. "Why?" Ngozi had whispered, her voice raw. "Why does my body betray me? Why can't I do the one thing women are supposed to do?" Chiamaka, 16 at the time, had no answer. She'd held her aunt while she sobbed, feeling helpless in the face of such profound grief. Later, she learned the medical terms: recurrent pregnancy loss, incompetent cervix, autoimmune issues that caused Ngozi's body to attack each pregnancy like it was an invader. The doctors said another pregnancy would likely kill her. The only option was surrogacy, which cost millions of naira, money Ngozi and her husband didn't have. "I'll never hold my own child," Ngozi said one evening, her voice flat with acceptance. "I've made peace with it. But I'll always wonder what they would have been like. My daughters, my sons, the children who'll never exist because my body is broken." That night, Chiamaka couldn't sleep. She lay in her bed in the small apartment she shared with her parents and 2 younger brothers, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing. She thought about her aunt. She thought about the other women she'd seen at the fertility clinic where Ngozi had spent so much time. Women with faces carved by grief. Women who'd lost pregnancies to disease or accident or biological dysfunction. Women born without uteruses. Women who'd had hysterectomies. Women whose bodies simply couldn't carry children. Chiamaka knew the statistics. 1 in 8 couples struggled with infertility. Millions of women worldwide wanted children but couldn't carry them. Surrogacy was expensive, legally complicated, and not available everywhere. Adoption was wonderful but not always possible or desired. What if there was another way? Chiamaka sat up, reached for her laptop, and began to search. Chiamaka Nwosu had always been exceptional. By age 5, she was reading medical journals her father brought home from his work as a hospital administrator. By 7, she was coding simple programs. By 10, she'd won national science competitions with projects that made adults shake their heads in amazement. "Your daughter is special," her teachers told her parents repeatedly. "She needs challenges beyond what we can offer." But special in Lagos didn't automatically mean opportunities. Her parents weren't wealthy. They couldn't afford international schools or private tutors. What they could afford was a laptop. Old, refurbished, slow but functional, and an internet connection that worked maybe 60% of the time. Chiamaka taught herself everything else. She devoured free online courses from MIT, Stanford, Oxford. She learned biomedical engineering, computer science, artificial intelligence, robotics. She joined forums where scientists and engineers shared knowledge. She read research papers that graduate students found challenging, understanding concepts that should have been years beyond her. By 17, Chiamaka had already published 2 papers as a co-author with researchers who'd been impressed by insights she'd shared in academic forums. She'd built a medical diagnostic algorithm that could identify certain diseases from symptoms with 94% accuracy. She'd designed a low-cost water purification system that was being tested in rural communities. But this project, the artificial womb, would be her masterpiece. The first thing Chiamaka learned in her research was that artificial wombs weren't science fiction. Scientists had been working on them for decades. In 2017, researchers at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia had successfully kept premature lambs alive in an artificial womb, a biobag, that provided nutrients and oxygen while removing waste. The lambs developed normally, proving that at least the later stages of gestation could be supported artificially. Other teams were working on similar technologies: artificial placentas, external incubation systems, bioreactors that could support fetal development. But all of these were designed for the same purpose: saving extremely premature babies. None were designed to carry a pregnancy from conception to term. None were designed to replace natural gestation entirely. The challenges were immense. Chiamaka needed guidance, someone who understood both the science and the ethics.